Every now and then, something happens in the market that just feels different. It's not just another price swing. It feels like a message, a signal that's finally cutting through all the static. And that's exactly what we just saw with XRP, XLM, and HBAR. And that's the key right there. This was not just another Tuesday with some crypto volatility. No, this felt like a genuine shift in the story. It's one of those things that usually flies under the radar, but this time it was absolutely impossible to ignore. All right, let's break down what made this whole thing so, significant. We're calling this a shock to the system because, honestly, seeing these three projects move together felt deliberate. It felt like a coordinated message that just sliced right through the usual market noise. I mean, it was literally that sudden. 1 minute, everything's normal. The next, it's like someone in a back room somewhere just flipped a giant switch. The whole vibe of the market changed. It was slow, it was powerful, and you just couldn't deny it was happening. And this right here, this is the perfect way to picture that shift. The conversation suddenly pivoted away from this idea of crypto as just a big casino, all hype, memes, and inside jokes. Instead, bam! The focus snapped over to these assets as the future's infrastructure. We're talking real utility, real recognition, and solving massive real-world problems. But here's the thing. This moment didn't just pop up out of thin air. Not at all. To really get why this was such a big deal, you have to look at the backstory. We've got to talk about the long, quiet years these projects spent building, all while facing a ton of doubt and, even mockery. And for anyone who's been around for a while, this is going to hit home. For years, all you'd hear was XRP is dead or XLM is so boring, but all the while, these guys were just heads down building. They got buried under mountains of meme coin noise, only to get this sudden, almost overwhelming way of validation. It's kind of like sending out 100 resumes and hearing nothing for a year, then getting 3 dream job offers in one afternoon. Yeah, and this just nails it. It's not just about being right. It's this deep feeling of relief. It's like you've been sitting in a dark room telling everyone there's a masterpiece on the wall, and someone finally flips on the lights. It validates the conviction you held on to through all that doubt. So, the big question, why these three? What's the deal here? Well, to get the Shockwave, you first have to understand the powerful and very unique job each of these is built for. They aren't trying to beat each other. They're 3 totally different pillars, all pointing in the same direction. So first up, you have XRP, and we're calling it the survivor for a very good reason. This thing was built for the skyscrapers of finance, not for the playgrounds of speculation. It's designed to fix the massive problem of slow, expensive cross-border payments. After everything it's been through, this recognition isn't just a price pump. It's about finally being seen as the essential plumbing for big institutions. Then you've got XLM, the quiet friend. I love that. It's the network that never screams for attention. It just shows up and does the job. It's been quietly powering real-world things like remittances and financial access for people who actually need it. This wasn't a hype explosion. It was like a quiet spotlight finally landing on its years of consistent, crucial work. And finally, HBAR, the futuristic machine. Okay, this is a completely different animal. It's governed by a council of absolute giants. We're talking Google, IBM, Boeing. The list goes on. This is the heavy-duty foundation for the future of enterprise systems. The market didn't just wake up to what HBAR might do, it woke up to what its powerful backers are already doing with it. Okay, so you have the survivor, the quiet friend, and the futuristic machine. Each one is impressive on its own, but their individual power is only half the story. The real shockwave, that came when all the puzzle pieces suddenly started clicking together. And look how beautifully this lays it out. For what feels like the first time you saw these 3 completely different worlds align. You've got XRP as the backbone for the big money institutions, you have XLM as the human layer for everyday people, and then you have HBAR as the fundamental infrastructure for the next generation of enterprise. 3 different jobs, all moving as one. And that is the light bulb moment. The market finally realized, wait a minute, these guys aren't fighting over the same territory. They are complementary parts of a much, much bigger picture. And once you see those pieces locked together, you can't unsee it. And that number 3 is so critical here. Think about it. 1 asset moving, that's just an event. 2 moving together, could be a coincidence. But 3? 3 distinct projects with 3 completely different missions, all moving in perfect sync, that's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. That's a signal that something much bigger is going on under the hood. So, what does it all mean? Where do we go from here? It's really easy to look at this moment and think, okay, that was it. That was the big move. But the truth is, this is just the beginning. This was the trailer for what's coming next. Let me be absolutely clear here. As amazing as this felt, this was not the main event. It wasn't the climax of the story. It was just the opening scene. Exactly. This was the 2-minute trailer for the blockbuster movie that's been in production for almost a decade. It was that first undeniable taste that gives you a glimpse of the epic story that's about to hit the big screen. And you know what was so powerful about this moment? You could almost hear the old, tired narratives just cracking and falling apart in real time. All that noise about utility doesn't really matter. The big banks will never get involved. It's all just a big casino. Suddenly, those arguments just started to sound really, really weak. Because this is where everything is heading. The world is finally starting to look past the empty hype and demand systems that actually solve problems. And whether the old guard was ready for it or not, XRP, XLM, and HBAR are standing right in the middle of that massive global shift. So, the world finally saw the spark. They caught a glimpse of what these networks have been tirelessly building in the quiet for all these years. And it really just leaves us with one final massive question to chew on. Now that everyone has seen the spark, are they really ready for the fire?
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.